She Quest Podcast is heart-opening dialogues for self-identified women on a She Quest, a movement moving forward, striving to live aware, bold, and whole. Welcome. Okay, welcome to your first She Quest Summer School podcast guest series. It's me, Estelle, this first guest show is all about women and power. And from the first moment, I knew I was going to have a podcast. I knew faux show, like not just for sure, faux show. I wanted to have Emily King on the show. And back in 2011, Emily graduated with an MBA and thought perhaps that she had it all figured out. But found out herself. She found herself in death with no job, no sense of fulfillment, no passion. And somehow she turned all this around to become a health and abundance coach for women entrepreneurs who want to grow their income, their impact, and live the rich woman life. I met Emily at a Soul Sunday event last April where we were both presenter. And it was pretty much love at first sight. It was so awesome since I realized that we were both preaching the same philosophy, except Emily was doing it through, money, manifesting, mindset. And, I do it through art and yoga. And I thought that was so cool. So anyways, all this to say, I'm so excited for you guys to meet Emily King. Hi, welcome, Emily.
Hi.
Oh my God, I'm just so glad you're here from Newfoundland because, being on a She Quest for us is striving to live aware, bold, and whole. I want to start with a ritual, and you're my first guest. How awesome is that? With asking my guests, what makes you feel alive today?
The sun. It's like finally sunny outside today. So this morning I was sitting out on my deck doing meditation. I was just like, the sun and the fresh air and the birds and the trees. That's what makes me feel alive today.
Yay. I love the sun. Sun is like medicine, isn't it?
Oh my God. And as I was meditating, I was envisioning that I was like sitting by a gorgeous ocean and that I was like all by myself, even though there's like neighbors around me and stuff. But I was like having a wonderful meditation this morning.
Yeah, so good. So good. So as you know, we kind of do themes at She Quest, and I really wanted you for the weeks that we talk about power. And I wanted you for that week, Emily, because we don't know each other like for so long, but you've already had such an impact on me, and I wanted the girls to really you have, and I'll tell you why. Something that really, really stood out for me, and it's something we were just like chatting on an Instagram message or something and you said, you wrote something like, no matter how powerless you feel, there's like somewheres in your life where like there's power. And like that really, really stood out for me. And I don't know if you could just kind of elaborate on this and just almost like talk to us about how you, in like your story, and how you got to reclaim and reframe that power piece and your life and what's changed from like, when I was reading your bio, and I knew this from like taking your workshop too, but how, like the Emily back when she just finished her MBA and like the Emily who you are now,
Yeah. Actually, and you know what? There's something about you, Estelle, because even like chatting, I'm just like, oh, like I'm like moved already. I'm like, oh my God, and I'm like tearing up over here. You can't see me, but there's something powerful about this conversation. And you know what? It's funny, like because I was obviously thinking about this conversation coming up today, and I was thinking, what has brought me the most power in my life? And I think the greatest thing that has brought me power is knowing that all the answers are within me right now. and just connecting to that intuition within me and having the courage to say yes to it.
Mm.
And so it's funny because like you sharing my story, like back, when I did my MBA, and before that, actually, I'll back up for 2 seconds. Before that, I actually did an undergraduate in music performance.
Wow.
And now, like,
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So my background is trumpet performance, and so I played and I gigged and I did all that stuff. And then I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Thought, okay, actually, I found out about applying to do an MBA through choir. There's a woman at choir who was applying, and I was like, sure, I'll do that.
The trumpet actually really suits you, by the way.
I know. Yeah. But thinking, as I'm like sitting here and you're sharing this, and I'm, piecing it together, this power piece. Back then, I was doing what I thought I should do. Even with my music degree, as much as I love music, I knew in my heart of hearts, getting out of high school, that I didn't want to do music as a career or as a profession or anything like that. But I literally had like professors and that kind of stuff, like literally sit me down and say, like, we really think you should do this. You'd be a great, addition to music school and blah, blah, blah. We'd really love to have you. And I was like, oh, okay. And every single day that I showed up in my undergrad, I knew I wasn't meant to be there, but I didn't have the courage to do anything about it. Now, mind you, everything happens for a reason, so I don't regret it. But I now see that in my life, when everything turned around, was when I did, because I think we get so hung up on like, what's my passion and what's my purpose and what am I meant to do in this world? And that's where I was like super, super stuck. And actually I was living in Halifax at the time with my boyfriend, now husband, and he was going to school, and I was like trying to figure out life. And I was literally crying myself to sleep every single night, being like, what am I doing on this earth? Like, what the hell, woman? And it like, it killed my soul. But, and this is what I really want to share with your incredible women, is that like, just follow the breadcrumbs that you've been given right now and let that be enough. Because in that moment of like desperation, the universe presented me with this incredible program. It was just this very simple program. It was called Hugs and Laughter. And we had 2 calls a month. And it was like, I think like just shy of $50 a month to join. But even at that time, for me, that was like a huge investment.
A lot.
Because I was broke. I had no job. I had rent to pay. I was just living off loans. So I was like, shit. Anyway, but I invested, and like literally that was like the starting point of turning my life around, was that one little like $50 investment a month that really just changed my life. And so that was my breadcrumb. Instead of getting stuck on, I need to know like my, what I'm going to be when I, I'm like old and gray, and what have I done with my life and who have I impacted? I knew all that was there within me, but I didn't know how. But all I did was follow those breadcrumbs that were presented to me.
I love that. Follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I fucking love bread.
Follow the baguette crumbs a lot.
I mean, who doesn't love bread? Hello.
So then it becomes a yummy journey too. It's like, we all love bread.
I love that message.
Yeah.
I love that message. And like, I mean, through your work, you just must meet just so many women with just so different paths. And, do you feel like that? Like all, let's say the shoulds of their life, really almost like that was the path that led them to like the must now in their life. Like,
Yeah. And it comes in different shapes and forms and all that kind of stuff, whether it be a mom with mom guilt or somebody who, racked up a lot of debt and they feel a lot of shame around it, or whatever. Like there's all the shame, guilt, shoulding and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, ladies, let's just forgive ourselves and love ourselves. And like, we got this. Let's not listen to that fear, that ego, that heaviness. Let's like follow what feels light for you right now in your life.
I'm literally like taking notes right now, Emily.
What a good student.
And I think I just love talking to you so much. Like I just love it. But maybe you can come back and on this podcast, and I'd love to riff off with you about mom guilt.
Mm,
Because I think it's like I think it's so huge.
yeah,
That part. I
yeah.
was just this weekend on a 40th. I went to a 40th birthday party. There was literally like 12 moms there. And
Woohoo!
I know. And I was so like so inspired by like I'm always so inspired when like mom travels without kids or dogs
Mhm.
or whatever your kid is,
Yeah.
and that was a real like we were just all talking about, that like the permission we had to give ourselves to like let's go for a 2-night getaway and
Mhm.
just lay on a beach and swim and
Yeah.
it's a big deal, and it's part of taking that power back for ourselves, right?
Mhm. And that's why, like, I do like you said earlier, I'm a wealth and abundance coach, and so, like, that's excuse me, that's why I do the money side of things. Like, money for so long has gotten such a bad rap in society, and it's become, like, this taboo thing to talk about, like, this, like, behind closed doors, nobody talk about it, don't share how much you make or what kind of debt you have or what kind of savings or whatever. And as you would have seen at Soul Sunday, like that's why I want to like bring out the conversation around money because while money can't buy you happiness or money doesn't give you power per se, getting into an awesome relationship with money and being unapologetic about what you want in life and what you desire and what you want to buy and where you want to go and where you want to travel and have freedom around your money, that's nothing to be ashamed about. Like we don't need to hide and like because getting on with like the mom guilt stuff. Even I remember one time at one of my events, actually it was in Halifax as well, there was this awesome person there, this woman, and she came up to me and she said, I feel really guilty about wanting more in my life. Like I have it so good. I have a great husband, great house, all that kind of stuff, but I feel guilty about wanting more. And like, I'm like, come on, like that's what I'm all about is helping women just embrace unapologetically what they desire and what they want. If they want to go travel without their kids, go for it. Like life is meant to be lived, not like, shunned in shame and, hidden in the closet around what we want. So
Oh, there's so much there. I'll have to have you back for sure. I love talking with you. I just love it. Um, I want to know because at Chic West we really we it's kind of like it's like really a self, we really explore and play with our tools, like our own tools for personal growth. And as you're starting to know, I'm all about art and yoga, but at Chic West, I really make the point that like, well, for me, it might be this, but for you, it might be like having long walks in nature. Or for
mhm.
you, it might be like, we all have our own map to what works for us. And I want to know, I know you've mentioned meditation right from the get-go, but want to know like, okay, I love
Yeah.
that stuff inspired me so much. Like to know, like, do you have soul rituals? Like, do you have your own favorite? Like, tell me your like favorite personal tools for self growth and things you do to like ground and center yourself. And for you, like as we like roll into our power theme, like really like harness that power within that everyone has. Like nobody is excluded from that.
I'm gonna send you something to give
Okay.
to your ladies because there's
Yes.
my norm is like I get up in the morning and I don't have kids right now, so I'm like I'm not like bombarded with like kids in the bed or crawling. Like I'm good in the morning. So I get up in the morning
But you have
and
your doggy. You have
I
your
do have
dog.
my doggy, but actually
Yeah.
he's like super late. He'll sleep till like literally 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like he's so funny.
Oh.
Um, so yeah, I get up in the morning and meditation is like I got to do my meditation, otherwise I just feel so ungrounded. And little journaling. Like I don't do journaling every single day, but like definitely like every other day I journal just to I find it very therapeutic just to kind of get out thoughts and
Yeah.
doesn't need to make sense or be perfect. It's just the process of doing it. And so actually I'll say this first is around meditation. I know a lot of women feel intimidated by meditation. Kind of like, with yoga, I know you probably experience this. First time yogis are like, oh my God, can I bend this way? Can I do that? Can I whatever? but it's just like with meditation, just let yourself do it badly for like a while. Like I do it daily now, but like this has been a practice of probably 6-7 years of like practicing it. So yeah, meditation, nature walks. But here's the thing that I'm going to share with your ladies is I have this thing called a Miracle Moments journal. And basically what it is it's like the next level of gratitude journaling. So what it is essentially like, and I can't take full credit for it. I got inspired by actually my own coach. So basically what I do is I've divided it down into 5 different categories of ways that the universe is showing up and supporting us. And so it can be tangible, like if you got a new client, if more money came into your life, if you got a promotion at your job, whatever. So a tangible result that you've gotten. There's the category of like straight up gratitude, anything and everything that you're grateful for. And then we get into the what I call the shower moments category, where when you're like in the shower or whether you're driving or when like you're in that kind of like just moment where you're like mindless and you get this inspired idea drop into your head and you're like, oh, I love it, I have to do it, like it's happening. That's a category of miracle moments. How you feel, because we so with this whole, because I'm all about manifesting and all that good stuff, but I find we get so focused on the end result. I need that thing, I need that money, I need that client, I need that result in order to know that this is working. But one of the things that we don't give enough credit to is how we feel along the journey. And so I make a point in this Miracle Moments journal to acknowledge if I felt really awesome today. And so, for example, this morning, like already I know at the end of my day today, when I crack open my Miracle Moments journal, I'm going to put in there, thank you, universe, for how grounded, how centered, how incredible I felt this morning on my back deck, just bathing in the sun and doing my meditation. Like, thank you so much for that. That felt amazing. And then coincidences. You know how you like meet people or, you'll be looking, like I had it one time where I was looking for a retreat location and all of a sudden a friend of mine on Facebook posted that she was an Airbnb host and had a discounted rate on, a location she managed. And I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. So that would be like a coincidence. So all this to say, I have 5 categories, the ones I shared, and it'll make more sense when I send you this little PDF. But essentially what empowers me is that tool of acknowledging the miracle moments, because when we acknowledge the miracles, what we appreciate appreciates. And so when we're taking that time to say thank you to the universe in any way, shape, or form for how it's shown up for us that day, it's like a grateful child that the universe then wants to support more and more and more. Because if you think of it like we're a whole, children here on earth, so to speak. And if we're like, oh, I didn't get this thing, or like, if you think like a birthday party, if your kid had a birthday party and they, got a bunch of toys or whatever, like, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted this thing or that. It's like, oh, child. like, no, you didn't. Right. So really getting into that communication, that conversation with the universe daily, being like, thank you for this, thank you for that, I acknowledge this miracle, I acknowledge that miracle. Then the universe is like, yes, 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 we want to show up and support this woman even more. And then it's just like we get into this, what Abraham Hicks calls the vortex, where it's just like everywhere we turn, all these miracles, all these wonderful things are happening in our lives. And it's a really magical place to be in. And so that's my secret weapon for like power tool.
I love you. I love you. I've taken so many notes. I'm wondering if your coach, is it Gabby Bernstein?
No, actually a new coach I'm working with now. Gabby's definitely been a big influence, but I'm working with this coach, Lenka Lutanska. She's out of England.
Whoa, so good. So clear. Clear.
Yeah. And so she, I think she calls it her evidence journal. And I can't remember now because it's been years since I was first introduced. I don't know if she does it exactly the same way that I do, but I definitely was influenced and was like, oh, that's so cool when she shared her whole evidence journal. And I call it like my miracle moments because I'm all about miracles and that good stuff.
Same.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's miracles that we're getting.
Girl, we could talk all day.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
we could do a podcast on each of those sections, but one that really resonates with me lately is like, the feel part. Like people don't know how to feel. Like one thing I always say is like, you don't do life, you feel life. Like that, even if you want to like go climb
Mm,
Mount Everest, let's say, it's not really like the goal you want. It's like the feeling of like climbing it, right?
yeah.
So and this feeling you can
Mhm.
actually acquire like every day,
Yes.
and so what can I do to feel like the way I want to feel? And I think that's like all, Danielle Laporte, like she talks about that a
Yep.
lot. And like that's a lot of work we do in Chic West too. Like why do I want to do that? Like, just knowing your why and like, why am I doing this? Like people we're so like
Mhm.
kind of robots, right? We've just been doing things and we don't even know why we're doing things anymore.
Yeah.
And then you end up one day and you're like, I don't feel alive inside anymore.
Yeah.
So I love that. This is so helpful. Like miracle moment journals. You're
Yeah.
amazing. You're amazing. Knowing what you know about power now, what does it mean to be a powerful woman for you today?
Ooh, good question. What does
Ooh,
it mean
loaded
to be a powerful woman? Is to honor ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. Is to honor my calling.
question.
And like truly not just be like, "Oh, I wanna do this thing and that's cool," but like truly like I believe that there's no vision, there's no goal, there's like I believe that everything is divinely given to us. And so if that calling has been placed in me, it's been placed in me for a reason. And so honoring that is one of the most powerful things that we can do because then the next step will be revealed and then the next thing will be revealed. And so that's what I've been all about, especially lately. Because I busted my own self like a few months ago. I was like, Emily, you have been like shying away from like doing like scary things lately. like woman, come on, like get out there. So
Woman. I love how you talk to yourself, woman.
so like that so like I've been
That's
on this like
amazing.
like just this like kick of like empowerment and just like going out there and just like doing the things that like fear would tell me not to do and just being like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I'm not going to die if it doesn't work out and I'm not going to die. Like it's all good. Like
I,
if it fails, it fails. If it goes well, then man, like that's awesome. Right. So like I'm not willing to allow myself to shrink anymore.
ugh,
That's it.
ugh, I could like French kiss you right now. Yeah. I love that. Okay, so the last little bit is like really just quick answers. It's kind of
Mhm.
like a little shooting match. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure? Are you ready? Are you sure?
Ready, Freddie.
Okay, favorite mantra,
I choose love.
favorite flower.
I bought peonies the other day. Love them.
Good. Favorite book you've read in the past 6 months.
Ooh. I'll have to just say my coach wrote a book called Energetic Selling and Marketing. I read last. It was really good.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like a book whore, so.
Ooh.
Okay, favorite podcast.
I rarely listen to podcasts, so I honestly don't have one.
Okay, yoga or running?
Running.
Book or Kindle?
Book. Yeah.
Coffee or wine?
Neither. I don't like either.
Amazing! Me this morning, like freaking out because I didn't have coffee in the house. Like, good on you, woman.
Yeah.
Emily, that's all the time we have.
Aw.
I just want to thank you. I feel like I could talk to you all day. You're really like a kindred sister to me, and I want to
Mhm.
hang out with more people like you in my life for sure. And
Yeah.
just thank you so much for teaching us about power and bringing you like just a little tiny little piece of your world. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
What a privilege it is to have you. And do you want to tell us where we can find you, all the goodness that you bring? Where's the best place to find you?
Ooh, probably I've been loving Instagram lately. I used to be all about my Facebook page. Well, they can go there too. If you just search Emily King on Facebook, you'll find me there. But on Instagram, what do the young kids call it these days? Like what is, like
IG?
like IG, but like your handle. There we go. My
Oh,
handle.
yeah.
My handle is therichwoman.inc. INC. Yeah.
Amazing. So we'll find you there. Again, thank you so very much to being here. Namaste, Emily.
Namaste. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.